Judge.
Hey, Miss King. Good morning. Good morning. This is Judge Alyssa.
Morning.
Perez. Good. Presiding over the 210th District Court criminal docket for May 26, 2022. All matters being heard today are being heard in accordance with all emergency orders and directives regarding COVID-19. In addition to that, we are streaming all matters live via YouTube for public viewing. Marufo, would you call our next case, please?
Bottom at page 2, Judge.
Mhm.
Cause number 2020-0D05163, State of Texas versus Omar Marquez. Announcement of council, please.
Well, King for the state of Texas. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. Jeff Robert for Omar Marcus.
Good morning, Dorothy Reyes, adult probation judge.
Okay, and let's see. We have a probation status hearing today. Miss Reyes, can you give me a little bit of an update, please? Were we in the process of, I feel like we've been here on Mr. Marcus, recently,
Yes.
last month. What's going on?
He's still in custody, did a jail visit last week, talked about him with the option of doing time, and he's willing to. He just said that he hadn't spoken with Mr. Rago for an update and that he would want to do so.
Do you have any? Okay, were we already at a number? Had we talked about a number?
No, Your Honor.
7, but I think he had picked up the new one, correct, Ro?
Yes, that one, the 2022 0D0032.
328.
I'm trying to get a hold of the complaining witness in that case.
Okay. So on this one, I mean, what are we kind of looking to see what might or might not end up happening with that new case, or Mr. Rago?
Correct, Your Honor. If we lump it all together, obviously, if he's willing to do time on it, it's not a problem. So, and 7 TDC is pretty substantial. So, and I understand the underlying cases. So, if he's willing to take it, then I guess we're good. But we got to see if we can do that.
Okay, so we'll track that probation case in the meantime to see if 7's a reasonable thing, or if maybe the new case, I don't know, something happens, changes that, but we'll just go forward from there. I don't think we're coming back on the 14th. We'll see where you are on that, Ms. King. See if anything changes. Okay. Other than that, we have our settings, so we're good to go.
And Judge, just FYI, I had filed a vacation certificate before I was even on this case, and I think I'm out the 14th, just so you know. Maybe
can we go ahead and reset that now? The reason I say that, Mr. Rago, is because I know the court is going to be really slammed scheduling wise. So if I can get you on a day that you are going to be here, that'd be great. Are you around the following week, or when's your vacation?
It starts June 13th through like July 5th.
Okay. Well, so then the July 14th should be good then.
Oh,
no?
I thought you had it on. I didn't see it on June. I thought it was on June. My mistake. Yeah, July is fine.
No, then we should be good. It'll be a crazy day. I know we have a lot of stuff scheduled that day. So anyways, we'll see where we are. Thanks so much.
Sounds good. Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
Thank you, Ms. Reyes.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
Yes, thank you. Y'all take care.
You too.
Thank you, Ms. Bye-bye.
Who's next?
Judge, on page 9,
Mm-hmm.
and I believe the defendant is here. Let me bring him in, Judge. In cause number 2019-0D01437, State of Texas versus Ricardo Lopez. Announcement of council, please.
Well, King for the state of Texas.
Good morning, Joe Rosales here on behalf of Mr. Lopez.
And do we have Mr. Lopez there? Mr. Lopez, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you very much. I just wanted to make sure it was you. Okay, Mr. Lopez is set for probation status today. Who is handling this one? Is it you, Carla?
Yes, Your Honor. Good morning.
Good morning. What are we doing with Mr. Lopez? I'm trying to look up the report while we're talking.
Your Honor, we are just pending. Mr. Lopez was rearrested back on March 7, 2022 for abandonment in danger of a child. But if you recall, this is a case.
Is this the refrigerator case with the potential co-defendant?
Yes.
Okay, so Ms. King, thank you, Carla. I think I remember now. So Ms. King, do we know anything else about our co-defendant or potential co-defendant? I thought some things were being looked into.
Yes, Your Honor. So I actually did receive lab records from Mr. Rosales for the co-defendant and for his client. Her lab results were not clean. However, the defendant in this case, his lab results were clean. So I did speak to Mr. Rosales, and the state is willing to dismiss the new charge.
Okay. So I see on the probation recommendation, it says it's the department's recommendation, Mr. Lopez be assessed by TAP and that his conditions of supervision be modified to participate in the intensive probation substance abuse caseload, screened and qualifies. I'm wondering what that is really based on.
Your Honor, may I?
Yeah.
I did reach out to the probation officer regarding that recommendation, but that is based obviously on the new offense. If he were to be pleading on that new case or not, right? But as per listening to Mr. Rosales and Ms. King, if the case is not going to move forward on any kind of probation or anything like that, then it would just be to continue Mr. Lopez on probation. He has been negative with, there was a current drug test on May 25th, which was negative. And probation also has the CPS hair follicle results from March 22nd, which were negative. So there, as of right now, there's no positives on him.
I was going to say he's never had, right? We have one, I think in December, failed to complete a UA. The only thing, I mean, that's where I am. I mean, for my purposes, I think he just stays on probation. If we can just have some regular testing, make sure probation regularly tests. So if there is an issue, and if we find out later on that maybe he needs to be screened through TAP, if probation notices something, that's great. But for my purposes, this was kind of, I don't want to say a false alarm, but I don't see any reason to modify him. Mr. Rosales, anything else?
No, I think everybody said it all.
Okay, so I think we got to the place we needed to. Mr. Lopez, I will remind you, just please remain compliant. When does he term?
24.
Next year? Next year?
2024.
And he's on deferred? Is he on deferred? Straight. Okay. All righty. Mr. Lopez, just stay in compliance with your probation. If there are any future settings, I don't need any future settings. Ms. King, if you have a dismissal, I don't know if there was an MTR already filed. I'll need that. And then if you have a dismissal on the new case, I don't know. I'm still catching up with emails, so.
I will send both today.
Okay, perfect. Mr. Lopez, thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Rosales. You all are excused.
Thank you.
Take care. Who's next?
Staying on page 9, Judge. In cause number 2018-0D0-3237, State of Texas versus Noel Cooley. Announcement of council, please.
Well, King for the state of Texas.
Morning, sorry. And it's Myrna Pages for Mr. Noel Coley.
Okay, let me see. I do have a report. Is Mr. Coley, is he in custody? No? Is he here by any chance?
Yes, Judge, he's logging in.
Oh, there he is. Okay, sorry. Let me go ahead and look at the report. Admonishment were only reported twice. Somebody tell me about Mr. Coley. We lose track of him?
No, we had a probation status on March 29th. I'm looking at Missy Bobbin's notes. And you had agreed to continue him on probation with modification to mental health after you had heard from Lulu Garcia. That's what I'm reading on her notes here. And so I think this is just like a checkup to see how he's doing.
Mr. Coley, are you there? If you can, if you'll, oh, there you are.
Yes.
Mr. Coley,
Yes,
do you have a camera? Can you turn on your camera, please?
I do. Let me see. I never used Zoom before.
I hear you. All right, Mr. Coley, good morning. So I agree with your attorney here, Ms. Pages. I think we were coming back. Let me go back, and I just wanted to, it sounds to me like it was a follow-up once you were released. So let me go back to the probation report. Ms. Pineda? As I'm trying to find my probation report, there it is.
Yes, Your Honor.
New TAP has been scheduled for June 2nd. He's reporting as instructed. You're compliant, attending appointments. How are you doing, Mr. Coley?
I'm doing fine.
Good.
Medicine's working.
Well, good, good. On 517, and the court but did not qualify for the MHI caseload. Okay. What do we have in terms of the new cases? Are they already filed and we're just waiting on those? It looks like a misdemeanor, criminal mischief. Are you on that one, Ms. Pages?
I,
They-
not yet, Judge, no.
Go ahead, Ms. King, what was that?
Your Honor, the criminal mischief was dismissed March 30th.
Oh, okay. So we're squared away, kind of, sounds like. Do we have a motion filed here?
It was also dismissed, Your Honor, on,
Okay, so everything's been closed out. Mr. Coley, this was my opportunity to make sure that you were keeping up with everything. I will tell you this, Ms. Pineda, I see here that they're requesting an admonishment. I feel like we
Honor.
had that already. And
Your
we're,
Honor,
Mhm.
I am sorry to interrupt, but if you go to page 2 of the summary,
Mhm.
halfway in the first little section there, Mr. Coley did have a violation of alcohol consumption,
Oh, okay.
and he was admitted to TAP, but he has been missing appointments as well for the month of May. And he was not modified into the MHI caseload through probation because he didn't qualify because of the level that he was assessed on.
All right. That's the problem. You're right. I got to the point where he had his new TAP appointment, but I missed all the issues, which was you admitted to drinking. You're not supposed to be drinking. You're watching a basketball game. Mr. Coley, understand something. It might seem simple, to just kind of, have a beer or something like that because, I don't know, you're with family or friends. But those little restrictions that are conditions of your probation are there for a reason. It's telling me whether you're going to follow the rules of your probation or not. Sounds like a lot of other stuff is working great, but those are still your inability. You're showing me that you're still not going to follow rules. So thank you, Carla, for pointing it out, because that's the type of thing that I would turn around and say, you're going to give me 10 days in jail. And hopefully that will get your attention to follow the conditions of your probation. Mr. Coley, I don't want to do that. But it's up to you whether you're going to make the right decisions or the wrong decisions. So instead of saying today, go do your probation, anything comes up, you need to adjust meds, you need whatever it is, work with probation. Instead of saying that, now I'm going to be saying something different, which is you're going to give me a 3-day jail commitment. Because you wanted to have, 2 beers? What do you think of that? Are you working, Mr. Coley?
No, man. I'm looking for a job.
So he basically had never reported before, right? That was the issue. So yeah, that's the problem, Mr. Coley. You were already in a situation where you were getting the benefit, and I know it doesn't seem like a benefit to you because it's work to do probation, but you got out and basically I said, I'm going to work with you because you might have some other difficulties that maybe prevented you from being compliant in some way, or maybe prevented you from making better choices. But now I know you're telling me, things are on track and you're still kind of doing what you want, right?
No, it was a misunderstanding.
What were you misunderstanding?
I wasn't clear on the rules of my probation. I had just recently seen my probation officer and he broke it down for me. So yeah, I wasn't really clear on the rules or what I had to do, but yeah, it won't, like I told him, it won't happen again. I haven't drunk since then.
How are you going to school? What are you doing?
No, I'm waiting to get my Texas ID so I could start working.
Or did you already, what's the process on getting your ID?
They take appointments only, so I scheduled an appointment. I'm just waiting for the appointment so I can go in
When is the appointment?
next week.
Okay. The recommendation from probation is not a jail commitment. It's just an admonishment. We're going to do a 30-day review probation status. And I'm going to look at the progress of Mr. Coley. I'm telling you, I'm inclined maybe to put an alcohol monitor on him if we, I don't know how else we're going to. Not sure I can take your word, Mr. Coley, that it's not going to happen again. Ms. Pages, do you have any input?
No, Judge, I'll talk to my client. We do appreciate you giving him another 30 days. But I'm not sure if you have notes as to why he didn't qualify for the mental health. I kind of missed that.
Being assessed as a level of care 1.
Okay.
What does that mean, Ms. Pineda? Just basically not severe enough of a case, is that?
Yes, Your Honor, I believe the assessment that they conduct, this one came out level of care 1, and I believe in order to qualify through probation, they have to be a level 3.
Okay.
He is, according to probation officer, he is attending EHN services and has his caseworker and seems to be compliant, appears to be compliant with medication and attending those appointments. But right now through probation, he's lacking the top compliance, which he was referred to as well. And then now with there was alcohol use, so he needs to comply with those top appointments as well.
How do you live with parents, Mr. Coley, or how are you able to get by money-wise?
Yes, ma'am. They help me out, my mom mostly.
I'm inclined to put an alcohol monitor on him. I just don't want the parents to be taxed with having to pay for it. Oh yeah. Any recommendations, Carla, or even Ms. King? You have any input?
Your Honor, I did want to remind the court that there is a pending date of offense, November 5th, 2021, out of Donna Anna, that there is a battery charge. And I guess he did not report for that offense. So he actually does have an out-of-state fugitive from Donna Anna. That's February 19, 2022.
So he's got some New Mexico issues.
That is correct. And the battery, he does have criminal history in El Paso. Burglary, habitation, engaging in an organized criminal activity.
You're on defer for 5 years. Wow. And we didn't extend him, right? Let me go back. He terms when? He
Have him
terms
until
in a
October
year,
2023.
a year and a half.
And
Monday.
Your Honor, and Ms. King and Ms. Pages. So when he was arrested on the Capias, I believe this is the one where he was arrested in New Mexico. So now that Ms. King is finding the pending charges in New Mexico, I'm asking for a rap sheet, Judge. I know Ms. King is looking at it, but I do recall asking probation officer to see if the New Mexico the charge on the Capias for this one, if there were anything else pending. So we're gonna check on that one, Judge.
Okay, let me look at something. Maybe I can see it here. New Mexico criminal history.
The battery charge has got dismissed.
The rap history that I'm looking at, that was ran and uploaded on March 17, 2022.
March 17th. Yeah. Well, who knows? Out of state fugitive on November, and then 2/19/2022 is what I see on mine. Well, Ay, ay, ay. What are we doing in terms of, I don't know. Oh, you're gonna have to get an alcohol monitor. That's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna give him, I'm gonna give him 7 days. You got 1 week, Mr. Coley. I'm gonna put you on an alcohol monitor. I do want it to have the GPS capabilities, Carla. So I don't know if that presents, you know, more hurdles. I don't know about the providers, but you're gonna, no, Marissa, we're not gonna do the 3 days right now. We're gonna just add the alcohol monitor. And he's gonna test 3 times a day. You have 7 days to get that monitor, Mr. Coley.
Yes, ma'am.
Get with your attorney and with probation. And then I'm actually gonna come back. Yeah, we'll come back in 30 days. Well, no, we're gonna come back. Let's see. What's it? 26. We're gonna come back on June 2nd at 10 a.m. So forget the 30 days. Come back June 2nd at 10 a.m. to check the status of that monitor.
Judge and probation officer, help them or let them know where to report to pick that up.
What information do you all provide, Carla?
Yes, I will have Mr. Coley to contact Mr. Trejo immediately right now, and I'm already sending I'm gonna send Mr. Trejo a message. I was doing it, just letting him know that he will be needing the monitor so that he can submit the modifications, and then he can refer Mr. Coley to contact the providers.
Okay.
Mr. Coley will have to contact, there's a couple of providers on that referral, Ms. Pages, and he'll have to contact them and kind of see which one he goes with the requirements that the court has imposed, which is the GPS and the daily recording on there. And I believe there's maybe 3 or 4. And he will have to obtain the appointment for that.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
Thank
Basically, I don't know if they'll be able to accomplish that. I mean, the providers, just because of all the stories I've been hearing about them, but I do want to see a status of where we are. So if there's no issue with the providers, then we need a monitor in a week. Mr. Coley, I'm going to refer you to your attorney and Ms. Pineda and probation so that you can accomplish this. And we're going to see you in 1 week. Mr. Coley is required to appear via Zoom. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All righty. Thank you very much. Anything else, Ms. Pages? Any other questions?
you. No, Judge, thank you so much. May I be
Okay.
excused?
You may. Thank you, Mr. Coley. You also may be excused. We'll see you next week.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Who's next?
Bottom of page 9, Judge. In cause number 2020-0D06121, State of Texas versus Annette Vasquez Robles. Announcement of council, please.
Joaquin for the state of Texas.
All right. And Ms. Robles is appearing. Let me see. Remotely. Okay. So we had some previous history with monitor compliance. Okay, so it looks like, I think we were back here maybe earlier in the year. Since January 29th, we've had no issues with the monitor, Ms. Robles, so thank you for that. However, the probation is reminding me that you have some outstanding classes. Am I remembering, are you in Pennsylvania? Yes, and were there issues, if you'll unmute, please, Ms. Robles, were there some issues? I could be getting you confused with finding classes over there, or what was the problem in completing the classes?
Well, I'm done with all of it.
Oh,
I sent all
okay.
the,
Oh, well, that's very good news. Carla, you all have that? You're nodding your head. So do you all see that in the record? Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
And then I
You
guess,
had given her, I believe, 60 days to have all these classes completed. She did complete the DWI school, the parenting classes, the victim impact panel was already completed. So right now, the only thing she's lacking, Judge,
is
are
some,
the community service hours, and she is currently attending the outpatient drug and alcohol counseling, which I believe
Huge.
would be equivalent to TAP.
a huge movement, Ms. Robles, in terms of completing things. So thank you. You term here pretty quick. I honestly, to the extent that you can complete the community service and just continue, do we have her testing how many times?
4 times,
4 times? Okay.
Yeah.
You
4
know,
times a day.
to me, we're just gonna stick with that. We've got to go until September and then you're done. So that's the way I see it. Carla, I don't need to come back unless Ms. Robles has a concern. I am going to assume that that means we're gonna continue on track until we are all done. Okay? Ms. Robles, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Hopefully, not to be rude, hopefully we don't see each other again. Okay,
No,
take care.
thank you.
All righty, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Who's next?
Page 10, Judge,
Go ahead.
in cause number 2019 0D02176, State of Texas versus Raul Ontiveros. Announcement of council, please.
Roa King for the state of Texas.
Is Mr. Rodriguez?
I haven't identified him yet.
I
Judge.
think, is he an attorney? Is that Rod? I don't remember. God, I'm getting a bunch of messages and Mr. Ontiveros is still connecting. Oh, this is a long report. Uh-oh. So it looks like, when was the last time we were here? Let me double check.
March. Hold on, George.
So he's had 3 positives, 4 positives.
On the alcohol monitor, Judge, and he tested positive for cocaine.
All right. All right, I need a bench warrant. Whether we end up in the 384, there's some other recommendation. Is it Mr. Escobedo's on this one?
Yes, Ron.
Okay, let me see. Let me just see if this Roger Rodriguez, if he's a defendant or if he's an attorney or what.
I'll bring him in, Judge.
What happened, Carla? I see here specialized case. He went through DWI court until, yes, Roger Rodriguez is his attorney. I
Yes,
remember he
Judge.
was here last time.
Yes, Judge, and that is something that I was looking at this morning. He did DWI drug court sometime along while being in DWI drug court. He was to be going to BHRTC, but the wait was too long. Judge Anchondo pulled him off of the list from BHRTC. Then he went to substance abuse caseload. He did that for a couple of months. He was transferred to regular supervision.
So, Mr.
And-
Rodriguez, your client, thank you, Carla. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm just a little fed up right now. Mr. Rodriguez, your client is still connecting via connecting to audio. I'll be very clear. I'm asking for a bench warrant. He is continuing to drink frequently and he tested positive for cocaine. Whether we end up at some more treatment, I cannot tell you that, but we're gonna bring him in.
I understand that, Your Honor. If you could just give him an opportunity to tell you what he would like to tell you, just so he can feel that he had an opportunity to be heard
Sure.
this morning, I would appreciate that.
Sure.
Thank you so much.
Marissa, will you double check again? I know it's been a quick turnaround. It looks like he was driving last time. I want to see if there's any new traffic citations.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
I'm gonna put Mr. Ontiveros back and bring him back in to see if that helps, Judge.
All right, I think I see Mr. Ontiveros. Mr. Ontiveros, can you hear me? Mr. Ontiveros? I don't know if you can hear me. Mr. Ontiveros?
Your Honor, I have a telephone for him that he's been calling me on this morning. Would you like me to call him right now and relay anything?
Sure. Anything that will help him figure out how to connect to audio.
Very well, Your Honor. Let me do that.